What if something is ending in your life, but the hardest part isn't the ending? It's realizing what you need to let go of with it. That's what I want to explore with you today through this full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. By the end of the reading, we'll look at what real world change, opportunity, or new direction may open up when you stop carrying what is no longer yours. So what's coming to light for you right now? Is there a truth, emotion, or pattern that you're finally being asked to see? Spirit, what is coming to light for the collective? Justice. Okay. So some kind of balance. Somebody is getting what they deserve, or they are experiencing the consequences of their actions. So if this is you, maybe if you were wronged, maybe an apology is coming in, or for some of you, this could be legal matters, but I'm mostly seeing an energy of balance. So if this is a relationship, then like I said, then maybe it's something coming back into balance in a relationship. Could look like an apology. A right is being wronged. And other relationship dynamics, there's other ways for things to come back into balance. For if this is about your job or your career, what is happening in that environment, something is coming back into balance. Maybe you're getting that promotion. Maybe your boss is taking action on something that on your behalf. Tell us a little bit more about that, Spirit. What truth is coming to light? A pattern? An emotion? The Hierophant. So, if we look at this as some kind of institution, yeah, let's look at this for a minute here. We have Justice and the Hierophant. Two major arcana right off the bat here. I mean, this could be a legal matter. This could be a matter of, so if this is justice and social morality, Let's see here. Balance having to do with social morality. What is socially acceptable? So something is coming back into balance with some sort of institution. This could be a church. This could be the court system. Maybe this has to do with laws. Maybe something is finally being brought to justice legally in the court system. For some of you, that really may be the case. For others, the Hierophant also signifies a belief system. So something coming into balance regarding a belief system. Is this your spirituality? Is this religion in general? Are certain belief systems making a comeback? Let's see here. What cycle is actually coming to a close for you? So we're going to move on to the next question, and we may revisit. What cycle is actually coming to a close for you? What in your life may have simply run its course? What is coming to an end? Nine of Swords. So this card signifies some anxiety, mental strife, and even nightmares, right? So far it sounds like wherever you are experiencing this energy, worry, anxiety, it's coming to an end. So in relationships, whatever's causing you this worry in career, maybe a period of, I'm going to use this card, it just popped out, Two of Swords, to go along with Nine of Swords. So it sounds like there was some kind of stress regarding some kind of indecision where you couldn't make up your mind because there was a piece of information missing. So this stress and anxiety over a decision that you had to make or have to make, that's going to be coming to an end. So if this is a relationship, there may be some kind of decision regarding a relationship. Maybe you're going to find something out that's going to finally help you make that decision. Or maybe you don't even have to make the decision anymore. Maybe something happened to where naturally it kind of just resolved itself. So, decision, the stress regarding the decision or indecision. Now, it's not always necessarily a decision that you have to make outwardly. It could just be like two perspectives or two mindsets. You're going back and forth in your mind and you don't know which way to think about it. You can't decide how you feel about it or what to do necessarily. It doesn't have to be an outward decision so much as a mindset, but that's always a possibility. So for some of you, this is going to be in a relationship. For some of you, this is going to be regarding your career or your hobbies or your projects. For some of you, this is going to be money related. But maybe decisions themselves become easier to make. So let's move on to the next one here. What aren't you seeing clearly? So this question is influenced by Pisces. The illusionment, illusions, something you're not seeing clearly or correctly. What aren't you seeing clearly here? Is there something you're believing about this situation that may not actually be true? What illusion needs to dissolve here? Where are you not seeing clearly? Temperance. So where your emotions flow and balance out, where you're tempering your emotions and tempering your actions. Something about this is an illusion. So maybe you think that you're being tempered about something and you're not. Or perhaps where you think you need to be tempered, you don't need to be. So there's an illusion surrounded by temperance. This is a balancing card itself. This is a balancing of emotions and letting them flow. Let's get a little bit more on that, Spirit. What about temperance here is an illusion? The Magician. We have lots of major arcana going on here. So, and there's an illusion surrounding temperance and your ability to make things happen. Temperance is refraining. So if you're refraining from creating in your life, perhaps you don't need to refrain. So let's look at this for, that's just an abstract idea. Let's look at it through, if we're talking about a relationship here. If you're tempering your emotions and your actions, this could be preventing you from manifesting or creating what you want in the relationship. Or if the illusion is about that you need to be tempered here in order to get what you want, that may be the illusion itself. Maybe you need to it's always good to keep your emotions in check, right? That's not what I'm getting at here. But how this plays out in your relationship, maybe you are more tempered than you think, or maybe you think you're refraining. But it's affecting your ability to manifest. So if this is a career or a job, you have an illusion of being tempered somewhere. Maybe you're not keeping as a cool head as you think you are. Or maybe you don't think that you need to at all. So there's an illusion surrounding having a calm approach to manifesting. So let's take a look at the next one here. And what are you being asked to let go of? So this is more of a forced release. That's what I was talking about in the beginning of the video. There's an aspect that there's something that's going to be forced, that you're going to be forced to let go of, whether you're ready to or not, because it simply cannot come with you into the next cycle or next phase of your life. So what is this that you are being forced to release? The Emperor. Right off the bat, I feel like this is about control. Letting go. You have to let go of control. This is structure, discipline, self-control, but this is also the shadow side of this is control, right? Or if it's more subtly about the structure aspect, maybe you're being forced to release this framework that you've created surrounding, if this is a relationship, you know, release a controlling nature inside yourself. Release this need to control. It could even be about controlling or keeping a structure surrounding scheduling. There's rules, right? You have rules, which are great. Now I feel like this ties back into the truth that is being revealed. We have the Justice, the Hierophant, and the Emperor here. And they're all kind of sitting on a throne type chair, right? Where they're in a high place. They're in a position of power. So maybe this is a balancing out of powers to be. Maybe that's what's coming to light. And the power, not necessarily your inner power, but the need to control and keep structure needs released. It's going to be forced on you. I have to keep reminding myself and reminding you that it's something that can't stay any longer. Let's get one more to go with that here, and then we'll go to the next here. Three of Wands. So this is something that is in progress. This is a status check, right? How are things going? Taking stock. So to me, this is about needing to control and keep structure, and you keep checking in so that you can maintain this structure. You keep checking, right? This is you keep taking stock of where you feel like you might be losing control. That's what is going to be forced to be released. This structure and rules and discipline, control surrounding this progress. Checking the status quo so that you can remain in control. And I don't mean that that you necessarily have a controlling personality, and then when you're in a relationship, you're trying to control that person. That very well may be. But there's other aspects of trying to control. It might show up as like when you're trying to constantly check and look for problems and try to get ahead of everything, and so that you can maintain control on everything that is happening in your life. That is a form of control. You try to control things that you have no business trying to control, or that are futile in trying to control, right? You cannot control every aspect of your life. So, once you release this control and structure, might just be more, for some of you, it might just be more about the structure and trying to hold on to a framework itself and trying to get everything to fall into place within this framework. Maybe you're going to be forced to let that framework go. once you release this, what opens up for you? What becomes possible? What real world change, opportunity, or new direction becomes possible once you let this go? We have 5 of Swords. So looking at this as a possibility for what opens up for you. And the 5 of Swords isn't a very nice looking card. It's a representation of mind games and hostile thoughts, but I feel like, and this is just kind of like that, more like you have this stress over here, but then you have all this other mind chatter and twisted thoughts and stuff that comes along with stress. Sometimes it can be manipulation. Okay, so I feel like releasing this opens up a way for you to release this energy in a relationship that looks like having, you know, just being combative with your partner. Just having a manipulative mindset towards somebody or, you know, your partner or yourself. So when you release control, you're going to clear your mind. So let's get a little bit more on that. New direction, opportunity, real world change. How does this translate to real world change, Spirit? Releasing this energy. Seven of Swords. Wow, this is interesting. Yeah, these are twisted thoughts, deceit, and sneakiness, mind games, playing mind games with people. Five of Swords, Seven of Swords. This is so interesting. As so you're really, I feel like this would have to be you releasing these types of thoughts, or this is you being able to get away from somebody else, that it gives you the opportunity to get away from this energy, whether it's excuse me, clearing it up within yourself, within your own mind, or this is you getting away from that energy from somebody else. Spirit, let's get a little bit more on that, please. What becomes possible now? Getting rid of these and this is also keeping things in your mind, right? It's a sneakiness, but not necessarily always you don't always mean to harm. This could just be you're thinking something, but you're not telling somebody what you actually think. That's more of this. There's hostility like I just talked about in the Scorpio reading. There's hostility in the mind, but you're not outward, maybe not outward with it. Or if this is somebody else, this is somebody else's sneaky or, you know, deceitful energy that you're going to get away from. Tell us more, Spirit. Seven of Wands. Wow. So this is you defending yourself. This has got to be you defending yourself from this energy. We have all these wands, that's fire energy, and you can see how he has the high ground, and he's successfully batting off all the other wands coming at him. Now that could be in relationship, that could be somebody always coming at you, trying to start fights, always has a problem. That's in a relationship, right? Or if this is somebody at work, if this is the energy at work or in your career somewhere where you have to deal with this deceitful and hostile energy and constantly trying to defend yourself. When you, okay, so I feel like overall this is, some of you are walking away from an establishment. You may be actually, some of you may be quitting your job. If you're releasing this, or maybe you're getting fired. I don't know. So this is a lot of structural energy. There's got to be, I'm seeing somebody walking out of a building. There's got to be some kind of, I mean, not for all of you, for some of you, this remains more, excuse me, abstract within your environments. But this really feels like there's these energies where you're going to have to let this structure go so that you can release these energies. Sorry. That's very interesting. So if this is money, maybe you're dealing with, some of you are dealing with banks, you know, where you have all this deceit going on. Things aren't clear to you, and you're having to defend your ground, stand your ground, and fight these people in a sense, because maybe you're not being treated fairly somewhere. Very interesting. Actually, I think I'm going to get some oracle cards here. Let's do an oracle card for each question, just to kind of tie everything in here. So we go back to what is being revealed. We have this balance. Something's coming back into balance, whether you're getting what you wanted. In it, there's some of you are dealing with legal matters, or maybe this is your job. This socially acceptable, if this is a belief system, for some of you it's just your belief system itself. Something's coming back into balance. Let's get an oracle card, Spirit, to go. What is coming to light for you? Protection, Guardian. Drop your shields. So to me, then that becomes the justice is in your favor. So wherever you were wronged or whatever imbalance, the scales were tipped away from you. Now they're coming back. So you are protected. That means the energy is in your favor. You are being protected. So something is happening here. Maybe the Hierophant is your protector. There's this moral, somebody's got your back here. Maybe the institution you're not walking away from. Maybe the Hierophant is somebody actively working on your behalf. If this is a legal matter, perhaps this is it could be a lawyer. This could be a priest or your pastor of your church. This could be any other social institution where there's somebody working on your behalf. And this could just be somebody that you know that is giving you this guidance. So let's go back to what is coming to an end with this Nine of Swords and Two of Swords. We have this stress and anxiety energy surrounding this indecision or this duality of mindsets, two perspectives, two decisions, what to do, what is coming to an end. High Priestess, harness mystic power. So to me, this is about using your intuition. Your intuition is going to help you make the decision that you need to make, or it's going to swoop in and something is going to click into place so that you're not experiencing this stress and anxiety anymore. It's going to help you make this decision. So this indecision, I feel like this is the one that's coming to the end, both of these, but through the means of your own intuition. You're going to use your own intuition to get there. So let's recap through real world scenarios. If this is a relationship, this decision or indecision that is causing you all this stress and anxiety within this relationship, maybe this is whether or not you're going to stay with this person. Maybe this is whether or not you're going to move in with this person, or any other decision that you're going to make within a relationship. Your intuition is what is going to help you. You need to listen to yourself, listen to your gut, and that's going to help you get through this. So this indecision is coming to an end. This stress and anxiety is coming to an end because you're going to be using your intuition to help you make that decision. Now back to the Pisces energy. This illusion surrounding Temperance and the Magician. What aren't you seeing clearly here? How is this temperance an illusion for you with the Magician? Do you need to temper your emotions and actions to get what you want? Or, in fact, do you just think that that's the route you need to go? Taking a calmer approach. Maybe you're fed up. You think you need to take a calmer approach, and maybe it's the other way around. Let's see what the Oracle says here. This illusion. Shield Maiden, make plans and focus. So maybe this is about you spending too much time in the inaction, and you need to get prepared, focus on what you want to do here, and take action. Wherever you were refraining, perhaps you need to go ahead with. Maybe the illusion was that you needed to sit back and chill. So if this is a relationship, this is about you had the illusion, or you weren't seeing clearly about whether or not, this is more the indecision here, I think. If this is career, where are you not taking action? If this is a money matter itself, where are you not taking action? Where have you been tempered? Where have you been refraining? Okay, so this is, okay, let's look at the forced release. Let's get an oracle to go with the Emperor. I didn't touch on that the Emperor, we have the divine masculine, right? So he is a natural leader. He is very structured. He has rules and self-discipline, self-control, you know, very solid, foundational. So this energy is being forced to be released. I feel like it would most definitely have to be the shadow side, which would be the control aspect. So let's see what the oracle has to say to go with that. Peacekeeper. Let go of the need to be right, and how fitting that that's in the release. It goes with our release. So there's that control. You want to control the situation, and sometimes it's just not worth trying to keep that control. It's not worth trying to prove something, trying to prove yourself right to somebody, or in a situation that's in a relationship. Or what aspects of the relationship are you holding too tightly on to? Are you trying to control planning? Are you trying to control how things unfold? Let go of the need to be right. Peacekeeper. Yeah, this is about just keeping peace within a relationship, within a work environment, within your self, really, by letting go of the control factor. Okay, let's do question number 5, and then we'll probably wrap it up. So, what becomes possible now once you release control? Once you let go of the need to be right, once you let go of the need to control and keep everything within a framework, trying to control other people's perspectives, even when you try to control frameworks, then you keep other people's perspectives within that framework. So once you release, well, you will be forced to, remember? That's going to have to go. Trying to control. trying to keep the status quo, trying to keep the framework. That's going to have to go. And once it goes, you open up the opportunity to get away from this energy. Get away from the deceitful, sneaky, mind games, hostile energy. Lady, enjoy growth and reap rewards. So for this to tie in with these cards, it makes sense that we're talking about getting away from these energies. Once you don't have to deal with this anymore and try to defend yourself all the time, then it leaves room for growth and for you to enjoy your rewards for your hard work. Excuse me. So again, how this plays out in your relationship, if this is a relationship for you, letting go of this kind of energy is going to release this other energy, whether that's in yourself or somebody else. And trying to defend yourself all the time within this relationship, you're going to be able to grow as a person. If this is a career, and you get away from this energy and stop having to defend yourself through everything, you're going to be able to see growth in the job place. Or maybe that means you move on to another job where you are, that allows that growth in your life, where you get to grow into a better career, or at least a better environment. If this is money, dealing with banks and money and all the deceit and trying to defend yourself within this financial framework, letting this go here, letting the structure and control go, is going to open up a path for you to release this other energy and grow. Maybe your money, maybe you'll see an increase in your finances once you release this. You're either getting away from it or you're releasing it within yourself. Maybe you've had, because this is you defending yourself, maybe you've had to do all this mental, try to think strategically and cleverly, so because you're defending yourself. Maybe you can let this go. This is letting go of the control, and this could be somebody else, this or a job or whatever framework you're working within is going. It's either yourself or it's somebody else, or it's a different, or it's a, if it's a career or a job place. The framework is dying. The framework is going away. So, well, I'm going to wrap it up there, and I hope it was helpful and I hope it resonated. Bye.